Hey, Mark, I want to remind you that you've always got what you need. Always. You always have and you always will. The illusions of self, ego, they are a constant recurrence, a constant trapping of obsession. We both know this. We need to keep resetting. We need to be aware and allow it to run its course and correct it with will, with joy, with love, with whatever else. We need to move forward with more compassion, okay? And love for self. And then move on. Stop worrying about self. Stop thinking about it. The fact that I'm documenting all of this and going around and round and round with the same words and the same concepts, all in my mind, all in my internal experience, it's getting to the point where I am doing that self-fulfilling prophecy thing. I'm listening to podcasts and words of wisdom from Alan Watts a lot of the time these days, the late Alan Watts. And actually, I don't even know if he's dead. Probably is. Lots of stuff around this enthrallment. I've talked about it. I've thought about it. It's time to let that go and let the rest of me be free. This can happen and is gradually happening. I'd like it to, really come to the forefront now. I'd like for the rest of my being to come to the forefront. I don't want to hold my self back. Don't know if that makes sense now. Stay true. Keep yourself healthy. Keep yourself happy. Maintain as best you can and do your job. Keep turning up and do your job. Like Elizabeth Gilbert said, the inspiration from, in her terms, genius. The creativity is boundless, endless. It's always there. I don't have to try to figure everything out in my mind to document it and to formulate it. This is a maddening and really intense process. It comes from a place of caring in the way of, I can see so much bullshit and so much sickness and so much suffering, and we've all been going through it. And it's needless. It's all needless. I've known this, and I can't. I want to try and figure all of this out. And I think I kind of have. I've figured out some kind of framework finally, that makes sense, or at least helps make sense out of all of this language that's being thrown around, all of these philosophies, these deep ways of not just thinking but believing and enacting and manifesting. all of the wisdom has condensed down and formulated in a framework of understanding that hopefully will help explain the spectrum that is our human experience, how we flutter between different states of being, and with increasing frequency. And we need to learn how to serve ourselves better and find out the ways that we don't serve ourselves. And it's confusing how I've chosen to use the word self to have such a meaningful intention here, whereas in everyday language, yourself, myself, ourselves, it is synonymous, but it gets very confusing with language. So there's lots of conflict and lots of confusion and madness, mental madness. It's all coming from a good place of intention to betterment, one's own betterment, and simultaneously to help countless others. Anyone else who resonates with these collections of words and sentiments, hopefully I can create a following enough to financially keep me stable and psychologically keep me sane and supported and validated, and all of this external stuff that's all still part of the ego experience. But hey, I've acknowledged it, we're all in it, let's figure out ways to get out of it, or at least to just, like in a meditative way, just let it be, and hopefully the stranglehold is released and we can be free to be who we are and not who we pretend to be out of whatever conditioning, fears of judgment, fears of feeling embarrassed or foolish or rejected, in any kind of way. All of these insecurities that just plague mankind, they're just all unnecessary. And unnecessary is obviously putting it lightly. They are toxic. We have become so toxic and we have such amazing potential. And we are just constantly in this fighting cage. It's ridiculous. It's always been ridiculous. And, oh, God. Yeah. I don't prescribe to any particular set of belief. I'm trying my best to find the right keys or the right combination of things to follow, at least for the time being. Always learning, always growing, always implementing. And it's been a lonely journey for me and very difficult. I can only advocate the journey inwards and working on your life in whatever way that you want. It's something everyone should be doing anyway, but why is it so bloody hard? It's so bloody hard. And it's all egocentric nonsense. I'm done with it. I'm so sick of it. So there's my rant. Sorry to put that on you, but I am you. Yeah,